5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler, the season finale.
Can I say a PSA?
Yes.
We took a week off because we had to. I didn't, listen, it took me 3 days to get over my heartburn of losing to Detroit at home. I didn't want to come on here and say something crazy because that was a shocker to me, Tom. I'm dead serious now because this is barbershop talk. Sometimes you can have that. But when you're in the front office, you got to be more level-headed. And the fans, I know, get that, right? They should get it based on me and for the last 10 years. So they don't think like we think. I get that to the fans. So put that to a side. I was thinking about the 3 most heartbreaking losses in Matt LaFleur's tenure. You know, I'm a big fan of Matt LaFleur.
Okay.
Huge fan of him. Tom Brady, when you lost to Tom Brady, you got number 1 seed, Tampa comes in, hey, you can swallow because it's the GOAT. Okay, you had a chance. And then Jimmy Garoppolo comes in. You're thinking, okay, maybe I can get past that because Kyle Shanahan is a genius. You can get past that. This one I can't get past. Campbell, a coach, people don't even respect him around the league. They do now. Jared Goff, he's a Super Bowl quarterback, number 1 pick, all that. And those 3 games you got Aaron Rodgers, you feel good about it.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Detroit was playing better football than Green Bay down the stretch. Now, their defense had really stunk, but I talked to someone in the Detroit organization who I've known for a long, long time.
And it wasn't Lomas Brown, was it?
No.
Because that's my guy, Lomas Brown.
And they were really fired up to beat the Packers. They were really upset at what Rodgers said at the last game when they lost in Detroit, when he said we shouldn't be losing to that team.
He's right.
And I mean, organizationally, from top to bottom, they were ticked off at that. And they came in even with nothing to win in terms of the playoffs. And you saw it. They just won in the trenches. They made fewer mistakes. They were just fired up to win. And I thought the Packers looked kind of sluggish, and I thought, once again, their offense let them down. You know?
Yes.
That's been a big problem.
In the red zone.
Yeah, and other places too. Like, there's 2 plays that it was in that last drive, and there's one where he throws to Allen Lazard, and it's over his head down the sideline, and Tanyan's running wide open down the middle. Okay. Then 2 plays later, Detroit sends 7 guys at Rodgers, right? Total all-out blitz on 3rd and 6.
Yeah.
And he throws deep to Christian Watson, gets picked off. Right. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, where's his hot read? There's 3 guys. So it's like, okay, it's both systematic and related to the players. And that's just, you can't get over that. If the player isn't playing good and your system is like, on a 3rd and 6, you don't have like a hot read for an all-out blitz.
Well, he had somebody breaking to his left in the middle.
Yeah, but they like ran into each other. It was like Cobb and Lazard, and they were like right here, and he had a guy barreling in on him all alone. Like, some of the stuff was not his fault. You know, and I'm always blaming him.
Yeah, we bring in, we call it casino. You can't block everybody.
Right.
So you have to get rid of it.
And other times they call it like having color in your face. It's the other team's jersey. He had color in his face a lot during that game. So to me, that was like a microcosm of their whole season, you know. The performance wasn't very good and the scheme wasn't very good. So I'm curious what your take. So give me your 3 things that have to change for next season.
Change and concerns kind of go together because these are some head scratchers. But the free agent list you got to look at that hard. And, you know, the Keon Nixon being all-pro, congratulations to him. I mean, I made 4 all-pros, and I should have made 2 more, by the way. But it's just my show, I can say that. But that's hard to make. And not to mention, the player had the first ever NFLPA all-pro list. I don't know if that counts for Hall of Fame or not, but whatever.
No, it's not.
He's got to be one of the guys you got to try to bring back. Because if you don't have anybody to be your return guy, that's the only reason why you went on that stretch, because you decided to go to him. So shout out to Versace, your special team coach. So to get the special teams in order, that has to be front and center. The concern is the trenches on both sides. My other big concern, if David Bakhtiari can come back healthy and you work out his financial part, that would make me feel better. If not, Josh Nijman is a free agent who got benched, who got benched for Zach Tom. And you're right, the interior line just wasn't, Detroit just took over. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't protect. Aiden Hutchinson, that kid's a monster, man.
Yeah, and those 2 big tackles inside.
Yeah.
I mean, Detroit was ranked 32nd in defense, but those 2 dudes came to play.
Him and Houston and all those guys, man, they got young guys. I will say this, though. You guys did a fantastic job at the question, after the game, asking him questions. Because normally I'd be wanting him to cut it short and just keep it moving. But this is kind of the end of the year thing. I don't even know if y'all will ever meet with him again. But the distraction is this: are you coming back? It was 2 things that I thought Aaron Rodgers would learn from Brett Favre sitting in that meeting for 3 years. Don't waffle about whether or not you want to play. And don't throw interceptions. If you do those 2 things, you can separate yourself and not only win another Super Bowl, but you can clear your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you've seen what not to do. Don't throw picks. And don't, after the season, waffle whether or not you want to come back. Tom Brady, give him some space. He's 200 years old. The man went through a divorce. He loves football more than anything in the world. If they want, some team won't give him some money, he wants to take it day by day, that's what you should say. But with Aaron, I would have hoped he would have said this: we had a great stretch run to get into this position. We all are very disappointed. Probably more disappointed than you know. I mean, it's probably one of my, I'm like Kirk Cousins, one of my most disappointed losses because it was at home. I know how the 80,000 people fans feel. 2023, not only am I going to be back, but I'm letting the locker room know, as long as I'm getting dressed, I'm going to give us the best chance to win. I know this question is going to be about Jordan Love, about me getting traded. I can't control that. That's for upstairs. But me...
What if he's not sure he's coming back? I mean, what if he's thinking about retirement?
Don't sign a 3-year deal. Don't even sign that. Don't even tie the team up with that. When they present that to you, no, you know what? Because I really don't know if I want to be here next year.
Yeah, well...
So just finish your other deal out.
But the deal is such that if he retires, it doesn't kill the Packers.
Okay.
If he comes back and plays another year, it's a huge commitment. It's that $58.3 million option bonus, which affects his salary cap number next year and the year after that.
Yeah.
I think there's almost no way he doesn't come back. What do you think?
He's definitely coming back. I said that last year. Yeah. And the question was asked, would you walk away from that money? When he said, of course he ain't going to walk away from that money.
No.
I mean, it's an opinion. We don't know what he can do. Because he can always retire. But I'm saying at the moment, the locker room has to get away as well. They're all going on vacation. Yeah. Some of them got to come back. They don't have a choice because they love the game. They got to make a living for themselves, and they want to get some get back.
Yeah.
But when you hear a guy say that, I don't know how it affects the locker room.
Well,
some guys can probably block it out and go play.
This is why Devontae Adams wanted to be traded.
Allegedly, yes.
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 They couldn't nail down how much longer Rodgers was going to be there.
Right.
So he just decided, all right, I'm not going to roll the dice with him or wait on him. I'm going to make my own decision. And I can't blame him for that. I can't. Now, the Packers don't have, they've signed most of their big free agents. So that's not a big problem. Elton Jenkins, that was their big free agent. They got him signed up.
Yeah.
To me, the question is, okay, how are you moving forward once he's there? What's Jordan Love's future? How are you going to treat him? Are you going to tell him, look, if you're playing better in training camp than Rodgers is, we'll play you? Or do you tell him, hey, you never know what can happen during the season?
Yeah, that's what you tell him. Because it's not an open competition anymore as long as Aaron Rodgers is there.
You know what? I would consider, tell me what you think about this. I would consider telling him it is open competition.
I would trade
Rodgers, and then he's going to say, well, then just trade me. I don't want to do that. See what he says. You know
what he's going to say.
Because if you trade him, that is a lot easier. You get a draft pick, you can start Jordan Love.
Yes.
And you get his contract off the books.
Yes.
So,
So you got to pray that you get a Denver Broncos Russell Wilson deal.
You're not going to get that. That's gone. That's over.
No. It ain't got to be from Denver. It could be from somebody else.
Nobody's giving that up for him anymore.
I would never have thought that Denver would give up that for Russell Wilson, who looked a shell of himself.
They made a huge mistake last year.
If you're gonna make a case to bring Tom Brady, who looked horrible against Dallas, who's gonna be 47 years old or 40 whatever, make a case to bring him into Oakland, and you got rid of David Carr. If you're going to make that case, you got to examine getting Aaron Rodgers back with Devontae Adams. And I'm gonna tell you something. Mark Davis, who's a good friend of mine, by the way, he may do something like that.
Yeah, if they're willing to give up Darren Waller and a second round pick, then,
absolutely. I would look at it.
But you're not getting 3 first round picks for him anymore. That's over.
I disagree.
He was coming off.
You only need one team.
He was coming off back-to-back MVPs. He's coming off his worst year since 08.
Well, yeah.
So I don't see anybody.
You've been covering the league a long time.
It's a good year for quarterbacks, too, in the draft.
Oh, man. You have to start over.
It's worked pretty good for San Francisco.
Yeah, but...
they got a rookie quarterback.
That's kind of outlier, though, because you got down to Brock Purdy when you had 2 injuries.
Yeah, but how does rookie quarterbacks have done pretty well. Joe Burrow did great.
Joe Burrow's a draft pick who waited his turn, got hurt.
No, he didn't wait his turn. He got hurt.
Well, you know what I mean. They got rid of some, cleaned it out for him.
Josh Allen started right away.
For every guy like that, you get the Zach Wilsons of the world, okay?
Well, you do.
Yeah,
you do.
But you get a guy like Daniel Jones who went through the whole process.
Yes.
And you tell that to Jordan Love, man, wait for your 5th year. Now Daniel Jones going to stick him up.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones was at least playing.
He played his way to get that. He should get the 230 or whatever. Kyler Murray, who got his coach fired.
Yeah.
There's another number 1 pick for you. So y'all can have all them young quarterbacks if you're building like Houston or even Chicago, you're trying to make a decision.
Yeah.
But for a team to say, I'm 1 quarterback away.
Yeah, if I'm Houston.
Like Denver did, they're going to do those deals.
If I'm Houston, I'd say I like the name recognition. I think for 1 year he could stabilize us while we draft a quarterback, to replace Watson. You got a ton of draft picks, you could build kind of a nice little team there and get the fan base all excited, by bringing him in. Yeah. But
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. You're right.
If you said, as soon as you said open competition, teams are going to be calling.
Yeah. Okay, let's flip to what you liked about the season and how that affects moving forward.
Well, number 9 is my number 1 excitement. I mean, how can that not you be giddy watching number 9 whenever he was healthy? This kid's one of the most dynamic players. He's a bigger, taller Tyreek Hill. He's everything you want in the Jalen Waddle types. And if he can ever get to the Devontae Adams, that's volume.
That's asking a lot.
That's
but,
10. I know. He's your only guy. He's your number one guy. He should be getting 15 targets a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and he was starting to towards the
end.
end.
They had plays built there for him.
Right.
You get 3 rushes a game, and you get 10 targets, 10, 11 targets, and you catch 7, 8 of them. That puts you at an elite status. Now you can build around him. Because everywhere he is, Tom, it affects the whole defense.
Sure.
And these guys going to have these one-on-one. But another one is, who you going to get in the slot if Randall Cobb doesn't come back. Because that slot position,
that's critical.
Yes.
Yeah, they need someone. And it can't be Randall Cobb. It's got to be someone.
No, I'm saying if he's not there, got to be a smaller guy who can sit in these little crevices.
A young guy who can run.
Yes.
They need somebody who can run.
Yes, I agree.
They thought Amari Rodgers was going to be that guy.
Yeah, they missed on him. Yeah.
They could have taken Amon-Ra St. Brown there. He got taken 20 picks later.
Yeah.
Imagine if they had taken him.
Yeah,
as
there's that big school
guy.
Again, though.
Man, so anyway.
And I would move over one more thing to free agent with Alan Lazard. What do you do with him? Because there's nobody on their roster can do what he does, blocking, size.
I would let him test the market, right? See what it is.
Circle back, okay.
See what his number is, and then decide.
Some team gonna throw $7-8 million at him.
Yeah, probably.
3 year, $24 million.
MVS got $10 million in 1
year?
Yes. So, yeah, I could see him getting 8.
Yeah, easily. On a 2 or 3 year deal.
Yeah.
And that's something they could probably do down the line. But you're right, it's not emergency. So now 33, they got to figure out extending him or keeping him. Because that guy's a dynamic.
They got to keep him. Yeah.
Boy.
Even take away the fumble, which hurt.
Yeah, that was it. Yes.
He's got to be better on that. But he's your.
That's the excitement I get knowing 33 is healthy, but I think it works. I think the reason why he didn't make the Pro Bowl over Miles Sanders because 28 did so well. A.J. Dillon is a up and coming back, so them two together, man, that's hard to stop. But
he's not as dynamic as Jones.
No, 33 is a home run hitter.
Yeah, he is.
And catching,
and he can run between the tackles too. It's
not
like
and he'll block.
Hurt
you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there.
And then overall, to me, excitement for next year to know that 23 and 29 are my 2 cornerbacks moving forward. I'm so excited about that. But I do get some sleepless nights over the safety position.
Right.
What do you do by Savage? Amos, what are you going to do there?
Amos is a free agent, unrestricted
free agent. So you're not going to be able to keep him. And Ford is the guy back there. Who you going to put him with?
Yeah, he's not. You got to come up with some starters there.
Yeah, so the safety position can be an issue.
I've kind of sort of ridden the bandwagon for Rasul Douglas to play safety. I don't know if they're
well, you can do that when Stokes come back.
Stokes comes back. And Keyshawn Nixon should compete with Savage for that slot job. Savage is going to be on the roster because he got a guaranteed $7 million. Maybe just work him in camp at slot. Let that be his position.
Because he played good up there, I thought.
He played okay. Yeah, he had his
but
moments. He should have had that pick on deep ball that got called back against Detroit. Remember that ball?
Yeah. That's why we're safeties. Our
guys like
not
you
very
and
good.
Eugene Robinson would be drooling over balls.
I would, but sometimes we'll drop 1 or 2. But I get it, yeah. And he can do that in training camp. Is when they do these exit meetings. I remember Bob Valicente, my defensive back coach, he would have his meeting, and mine would be a lot shorter than all the other guys because he kind of wants me to just, I just had a great year, but how could we get it better? Then he would call me like in April before the training camp, and we'd be on the phone for 3 hours. Let's do certain things, let's move certain people, how do I manage the room, and then we come back because we got to win a Super Bowl, and that's how we would end it. And I thanked him for that because they give you a platform. That's when they tell you when you get back, people like Tom are going to see you in a new position.
Yeah.
Here's the talking points They say, why are we doing it?
Yeah.
You know, and if you're going to put 29 at safety and put Stokes a starting corner, and then Ford, so that's your 4 guys back there. Rasul Douglas got to have in his head when y'all ask him why they moved you.
Yeah.
He could say, maybe they moved me the same reason why
Right.
they moved LeRoy, you know?
And he's going to have to accept it because.
Oh, he's going to have to accept
I mean, I'm not saying that like you have to accept
No.
it. I'm like, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
To acknowledge you've been a corner, you've been
Yeah.
up, you know,
I
you had
was
6
fine with
picks.
it.
But yeah, you were a corner.
Yeah,
and
I was fine with it.
You should tell them what.
Yes,
You
they
can-
articulated to me that one day you'll be a special player, and it was true. You get the blitz, you get in the box.
Right, and he
Center fielder.
so good when he's looking at the quarterback. You know,
Yes.
he just doesn't.
And actually, you had that idea about 7 or 8 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
So I'm going to give you credit if they do it.
Well,
Well, that's something they should probably think about.
yeah, they need
And that's
to
some of the
think
things I'm
about it.
excited about.
Yeah, and they got to continue to build depth. For the draft, you can tell me your opinion, what you think they need. I think they got to bolster the offensive line. I think they got to take a tackle in the worst way.
I don't know about, I like Zach Tom, and tackles will be good, but second round,
You think you can get someone in the second round?
yeah, because they've been hitting in these second and
True.
third and fourth rounds, man.
Would you take a
fifth
tight
round.
end in the first round?
Hey, now you got me excited because the Georgia tight end Bowers, I think his name,
Yeah, he's not.
He gonna be
available
gone?
this year.
he's not.
He's not eligible. No,
Well, can I wait on him?
I was joking on the podcast that they should tank for that guy
That guy's
next year.
amazing.
He's going
Georgia
to be
got
like the
4
best
guys I
player.
want.
He's like George Kittle and Travis
Yes.
Kelsey and
Yeah.
Keith Jackson.
Oh, my God, this guy's amazing.
All mixed
Anybody
together.
like that, Trav, yes. The Georgia safety, try to get one. They need a safety that's a safety
Yeah,
that you could draft.
they do.
That's not like an in-between.
There's some good DBs in the draft
Yes.
this year. A lot of good corners, and there are some safeties.
But you
So-
know what people are going to want? A receiver.
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't. Would you argue against that?
Not in the first round, I'm not doing it.
No.
I'm going the second round.
Yeah, you get that kid from USC or
Oh, boy.
or
Oh, boy.
a kid from TCU.
Tennessee? Oh, he'll be gone. The kid from Tennessee.
I don't know.
That kid from Tennessee there.
It's pretty good. It's a
I'm going to
pretty
have to
good
go
year
up there and
draft
look over the
15.
draft board.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the draft board is with the
Hey,
Packers. I
we'll
don't
be
even
talking
know.
about the draft in what, 3 months?
Well, free agency and the draft. We'll have
Yeah.
a big show on that.
So
We'll take some questions on that too, because I know what people are going to say.
yeah.
Top receiver.
Well, we got to see how everything plays
Yeah.
out. You never know what the draft.
Yeah, this is kind of the exit thing here, but we'll get
Yeah.
into that. But that 15 pick can be valuable too if you want to trade and jump back, because Gutekunst did a great job of that, man. Because picking up Christian Watson, the top pick, and you
Yeah.
did that with Minnesota.
Last, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Last year's draft is probably going to turn out to be his best. I mean, up and down, they got contributions.
Yes.
Think about it from
Yes.
Quay Walker.
Yes.
Devontae White started to come on a little bit.
Yes.
They need him to really come on.
He's going to be good.
Zach Tom,
Big save, Zach Tom.
Romeo Dobbs, Toure.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting some people too. Carpenter, that safety.
Oh, yeah.
That
Good
dude
special
could wind
teamer.
up be a
Good special teamer.
interesting guy to use. He is a
Yeah.
big man.
Yeah, go back to Romeo Dobbs for a minute.
Yeah.
I would love to sit down and talk to this young man. He needs some confidence, and he needs some direction, because your sophomore slumps are coming.
Right.
Because he started out so well, then he got hurt,
Yeah.
and then he got to be consistently catching with his hands.
He
Because
does. He
Aaron
does.
threw
He
him a
tries.
pass. He wasn't even really paying attention.
Oh
to
yeah,
the laser.
that deep one. Yeah, that he's got to have that.
You got to know when you get a one-on-one, the ball's coming, and all his drops seem to be a confidence thing.
Yeah.
And you talk about a guy that dropped a lot of passes, so I know it was my confidence that the reason why I would drop those. I just assumed it would happen.
Yeah, but the thing I liked about him was from day one, he was there every single
Yeah.
day playing consistently.
Yes, he was.
And it wasn't until a guy stepped on his ankle or whatever happened in Detroit. That hurt.
That
him.
happens.
It does happen. He wasn't
Yeah.
the same guy when he got back, and
Yeah.
he'll have the off season. But I totally agree with you about the sophomore slump thing. People are going to expect Christian Watson to have 120 catches.
He may come
and
back a
100.
little bit.
He may.
That's why I want his volume to go up. So if he drop a few, you just keep going.
Yeah. So
But that's sophomore slump.
that's why you can't take all that stuff for granted. You have to keep building at that position.
So would you put a veteran with these guys?
Yes.
Is that available? I
Yes.
don't know who's available.
I mean, this is fantasy
look at it.
football stuff, but
Yeah.
if they could somehow get Waller, if they could somehow get, DeAndre Hopkins would be an option.
He makes a lot of money.
He does. So
They can
that's
restructure.
difficult, right? There's some other. If Hopkins got cut, if they cut him instead of
They
trading
can wait till after March, cut it. But now you have to open it up to the league, though.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yes, they have to add some veterans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I really think that the Amari Cooper moving him to Cleveland out of Dallas really opened it up for CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
But they had serviceable guys.
Yeah.
And they let the kid go to Jacksonville, Zay Jones, I think.
Yeah,
They let him
yeah.
go. But they were still, Dallas got capable wide receivers. Like you said, the Packers got to look at that. One more thing I would add.
All right, then let's wrap it up.
Yeah, there's two things I would do if I was over the budget. I'm not sure if I would explore bringing LaFleur and his brother, I don't know, and Nathaniel Hackett. That's above my pay grade. But they need a red zone coach.
Yeah.
Who can give us the best plays on red zone. It can't be the worst team for goal to go.
Yeah, right.
And then I would do a third down specialist on the defensive side. All this guy does is defensive calls to help Joe Barry out, who they're going to bring back.
That's a good idea.
And that's all third downs, whatever formations come in, these are your best calls. You go to them. Now you know when to light them up or when to sit back with your catcher's mitt on. Put those two guys on your staff that can really work their way up in the program. And that's all they work on. Red zone, third down passing.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. It's been a fun year, and we'll be back, of course, before you know it. You want to give your last shout out to your sponsor?
Yeah, I do. I appreciate Pick and Save, of course. You can go to Pick and Save /LeRoy Butler for all my recipes. You can get my Leap Vodka there. You can get my brats. And of course, I want to thank Educator Credit Union. They're giving back a lot of money to students. If you go to ECU.com, you get like up to $2,000 for scholarships. It starts January the 17th, so mark your calendars for that. Again, wherever you look at podcasts, please download the Leap 36 podcast with me, my former teammate, or anybody play for the Packers, a former teammate, Gary Ellison, former Badger. We got some more in-depth stuff. And again, make sure you always come back here. Again, we'll tease it, but we'll have a free agent show. We're going to do a draft show. In the offseason, we're going to give you a platform to ask us questions. And that's it.
Okay. Well, thanks for another great season, and we will catch you all down the road.